What's good, fam? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna show you how to make the sexiest, the thickest, the
meatiest
drill you ever heard in your life. Imagine a drill beat where it's like you've been DMing this girl for a long time on Instagram, but she ain't been responding to you. She been playing you for real, and then out of nowhere she said, "You know what? I'm giving you a chance with your little ugly ass, right?" So then you, being a simp, you're like, "Okay, baby." So the day comes and you're like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna take her to Cheesecake Factory." You know how that be. So boom, you go and pick her up, and y'all both in the car. You got one wheel on the steering wheel. You got one hand right here, and you're like, "All right, bad. I guess I'm gonna try this now or never." So you reach over, you put that hand on her thigh. And you know what she do? Story to be continued. So when it comes to making sexy drill, I always say all the time, act like you're making an R&B melody, because it's gonna make it a lot simple. That's just how I do it. You can do it your own way. I don't even care for real, bro. No cap. Alright, so pretty much I love to start off with some simple chords. So I went to Analog Lab to this famous R&B bank that I be using all the time for real. It's a fire bank, right? And I laid out this pattern right here. Sound selection is definitely key too. Like, this pass sounds very good and full, so I think it'll be a great foundation for the melody. This melody is very, very simple, really. It's just 4 chords. Like, literally, to make something similar, we're gonna do it in like 30 seconds, right? So you can see you got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So we're in G sharp minor. So let's say that we want to start in E minor, right? So we're gonna make an E minor 7th chord. Yo, what's good, y'all? So I just noticed while I was recording that literally my freaking desktop audio was muted the whole time, so it didn't get any other audio. So what I did was that I just went back into OBS and just recorded like me playing all of the different melodies and the drums. So that's what you're gonna hear. I'm still editing this, so I'm gonna see. Hopefully it's not gonna be too choppy. But yeah, so for this part, you're not gonna hear me making the actual, similar melody, but you will hear the end result though. So, sorry. All right, now I'm gonna drag this out. Now let's go down to to a C. Or no, let's go down to a B, right? We're gonna take this, go up to a C major chord. Now we're gonna copy this again. Boom, make it shorter. Now we're gonna do a chord to get some suspense. I think it's called a diminished chord. So you're gonna go up to a D. Take this, move this up one to D sharp, and then move this down like that. Let's see how this sounds. Anytime you're going for an R&B melody and you want to sound very like jazzy or R&B-ish, always having a tritone chord or a diminished chord is gonna give you that R&B sound. So for effects, we have on just an imager just to make it sound wider. So once you get the first pattern down, usually it's smooth sailing from there. So I went to Analog Lab again. This time I grabbed a arpeggio and I laid out this melody right here, the exact same pattern. Sound like this. I love to add arpeggios and my sexy drill beats. It just adds like a different level of sparkles to my beats. So for that, just the EQ, cut out some of the lows and boost some of the highs. Very simple. Next, in order to make it sound even more full, we're gonna layer one more time with a different pad of a different sound and timbre. So we got this pad All Mine from Analog Lab, and this is what it sounds like right here. Alright, now let's get into some of the counter melodies. So first I went to Nexus and grabbed this little plug. It's called the Plucked Fairy Tale preset. And this one sounds like this. Usually in a lot of sexy drill songs, there's gonna be some kind of counter melody, like a lead or a pluck or a bell in the background. For that, just the EQ to make it sound more muffled, and then some reverb with some ROM. Then to add to that counter melody, I got a bell from Nexus. I got the PL80s Ball of the Bell Ballad Bell. What the hell? Ball of the Bell. Ball of the Bell. Ball of the Bell. Ball of the Bell. Stop, bro. Nah, we ain't doing that. Ball of the Bell. Stop. Ball of the Bell. For that, I have on a magic switch for some chorus, then the reverb with some ROM. Next, we get a simple synth bass out of Analog Lab, sound like this. If you know me, then you know that I love to add synth basses to my melodies. I'm not gonna lie, if you have Arcade, you're not using it, bro, definitely use it more. They got a lot of good sounds in there for some good accents and ear candy for real. So I went to Future Perfect, right, and I grabbed this little preset right here, and this is like a great lead for the melody. Straight heat. Last but not least, I got this vocal out of the FL Cloud Bank. So you know, usually in sexy drill, you're gonna hear a vocal, female vocal most of the time, and yeah, this one's gonna sound like this. Alright, boom. So look, now we got the melody right here. And this is why I said like I love to make it like an R&B melody, because now I can either go sexy drill with it, or I can slow it down and make an R&B, or I can send it out to somebody and they can do their own thing with it. It's about having leverage with your opportunities pretty much. So first we get the very stereotypical sexy drill kick. And it's gonna sound like this. I'm not gonna lie, for most of these drums I'm using drums out of my drum kit and some midis out of my drum kit that I'm dropping for, you know, 1K subscribers. So yeah, you know. But yeah, so more than likely it'll probably drop by next week if you guys want to get it. It's gonna be my first drum kit. But yeah, it sound like this. Just to give it some extra sauce, I like to add chops or stutters in my sexy drill kick. So this right here just sounds pretty cool. Usually when I use a sexy drill kick, I love to add an EQ just to cut out some of the lows, because it is a little bit muddy, and then boost some of my high frequencies, and then also add some reverb so it's not as dry. Next we got a hi-hat pattern that sounds like this. You know, it's just a usual drill type of bounce like the then I love to add like these little bounces right here and stutters just to make it sound a lot more dynamic. For that, just some reverb with some ROM. Next, I got one open hat that sounds like this. All I did was I copied down the exact same pattern from the kick just to make it, you know, have some extra layers to it. Then we have a different open hat that's playing its own melody. And this one I got this MIDI out of my drum kit. It's like a little bit of a, you know, open hat MIDI. I don't know why, but it sounded pretty cool for real. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Sound like this. You know, just add some extra bounce to it for real. Then we got a clap that hits like a usual drill clap. Then one simple perk. Then last but not least, we get into the sexy drill bass. This pattern is definitely a little more complicated than my usual ones, but yeah, let's get into it. I feel like for me, one of my signature things is to make like bouncy basses and like just bouncy drums in general. So that's why I love to go up and down, like, you know, up an octave and slides and stuff like that. I don't know, it just sounds cool to me for real. But yeah, so to get that little stop and go effect that I was doing like right here, So first you get a note, and then get a slide note, and take it down 1 octave, and then have it stop like this. Then after that, get another note, take the volume down all the way to 0, and then get a different note of a slide note all the way at 100, and then have it slide to the next note. Pretty much it just adds a stop and go effect, so it's like pulling you in and then pushing it back out, you know. Oh yeah, and then we got a kick too out of my drum kit, sound like this. So now for the intro, what I did was that I took the melody, probably like this part right here, and also the vocals, and I just rendered it out into a WAV file like this, and just reversed it just to give it a different feel for the intro. So I'm gonna show you what the beat sounds like in 1 second, but before that, thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, learned something from it. If you did, go ahead and tickle that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, follow my Instagram at TiaLaron. Let me know what you guys want to see next. If I hit 1,000 subscribers before my next video, I'm gonna say thank you in advance, or appreciate all the support and all you guys for real. If you need any help, let me know. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.